All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from Canada, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Sri Chaitanya Bhagavatam. May I know who all have joined this mid-morning call?
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devi Dasi. And thank you so much, Mataji, for your very beautiful recitation. On this
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call, and all glories to all your services, Mataji. Thank you so much for your sweet association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna, Yasumati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your sweet association. All glories to all your wonderful services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Shushmita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Wishing everyone Happy New Year. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your wonderful services. Thank you for joining the call. And yes, Mataji, wishing everyone Happy Krishna Conscious New Year 2025. Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji. Dandot pranams to you, Dandot pranams to all the devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Happy New Year to all the devotees here. And wishing that my spiritual journey becomes better and better with all your association in the coming New Year. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Swami Mataji. Please accept my pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day. And thank you so much for giving your sweet association to us. Yes, Mataji, Bhakti Sanga is like a desire tree for all of us. And we are getting all our association through Bhakti Sanga. I am so grateful to Bhakti Sanga, Mataji. Yes, very true. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, then with pranams, so glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari Dasi. Thank you, Sundarangi Radha Mataji, for the beautiful recitation of Bhagavad Gita. And thank you everyone for joining. Wish you all a very, very happy Krishna conscious New Year.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all your wonderful services, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining and giving your association. We are eagerly waiting to hear from you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudeva Sri Vrinda. Koti Koti Danvat Pranam to all Bhakti Sangha teachers and all Vaishnava, always inspiring us. Keep us in your prayer, Danvat.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your sweet association to us. Thank you, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We can move to the next section. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa group. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call today. Today we are so fortunate to have Her Grace Kirtida Sundari Mataji to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavatam Madhya Khanda and chapter number 19 and sloka text 119 to 155. Before handovering the call to Mataji, with her permission, Mataji, can I read Srila Prabhupada's quote for the today? Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. And so I'm going to read today's quote of Srila Prabhupada, 1st January. In the beginning, there may be some failures. That is quite natural. Just as a child is trying to stand, He may fall down, but that does not mean he should give up the idea. Go on. A time will come when he will be perfect. A time will come when you will be perfect Krishna conscious. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Los Angeles, January 1st, 1969. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for your valuable time and association to us this mid morning, Mataji. Now I will hand over the call to you. Whenever ready, please take over the call, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Thank you so much for your very, very warm welcome. Thank you each and every one of you for joining us in this session of Chaitanya Bhagavat on the very first day of the new year of according to English calendar. We know that as per Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we celebrate New Year in God Purnima, during God Purnima. But as per the English calendar, today is the new year, and every day is a new year for Krishna Bhaktas because new opportunities come along with their way. Okay, so on that note, we can start with our prayers and then we'll go ahead with our Chaitanya Bhagavat session. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapad Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchatattvatakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavtaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktāya Tadbhaktāya Namo Namaha Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya Hema Bhadivya Chavisundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावधातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ युगवरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ जयति जयति देवा कृष्ण चैतन्य चन्द्रो जयति जयति कीर्तिस्तस्य नित्य पवित्र जयति जयति भृत्यास्तस्य विश्वेश्वमूर्तेर्जयति जयति नृत्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणाम् मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं Yatkripaha tamham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for your wonderful association once again. So, we are in the section of Chaitanya Bhagavat where beautiful pastimes are being narrated by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. So I seek all of your blessings and prayers so that I can speak something relevant to this subject matter. Though today's session will be simply reading of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, because we will be covering 50 verses, around 50 verses, because we want to cover the entire pastime. We don't want to break the pastime in between. So we'll be simply going through the verses, and as in how Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj inspires, we can discuss on those subject matter. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhuvaivacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavrindi ki jai. All the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis ki jai. So we are in the section of Chaitanya Bhagavat where Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur has already narrated the pastime of that Dadi sannyasi. So we saw that how Advaitacharya, always being worshipped by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as equal to one's spiritual master. So it was Advaitacharya who brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by his huhunkara, by his prayers, that he brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this world. So the situation of Navadvip was very bad. People were very materialistic. And if somebody who were performing some kind of activities, some pious activities, they were all into Karma Khanda or Yoga Vashishta. So they were not following devotional service. And seeing the situation of all the Navadvipavasis, Advaitacharya, being the Supreme Lord, felt very compassionate in his heart. And he thought that it's not him, but rather the Supreme Lord has to descend in order to uplift all these people. Therefore, he started worshipping his Nashinga Shaligram Shila on the banks of river Ganga, because he heard a very famous verse from Gautamiya Tantra where he came to know that just offering a simple tulsi dal matrena jalasya chulukonavya vikrinite swayamatmanam bhaktebhyo bhaktavatsala. He heard that just by offering little bit of tulsi dal, means just offering tulsi leaf and a palmful of water onto the Narshinga Shaligram, onto the Shaligram, onto Lord Shri Krishna, Vikrinite Swayamatmanam, the Supreme Lord himself, sell himself onto that devotee. Those who offer just tulsi leaf and palmful of water. Holding on to this instruction from Gautamiya Tantra, Sri Advaitacharya called the Supreme Lord. He rode on the banks of river Ganga, and he called the Supreme Lord, who appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadvip. But then what happened is that because Advaitacharya was around 52 years older than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also he was the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And so Madhavendra Puri's disciple is Advaitacharya and Ramachandra Puri, Ishvara Puri. All these are Madhavendra Prabhu's disciple. And Ishvara Puri's disciple is our dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has very high regards for Sri Advaitacharya, because Ishvara Puripad was his spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Advaitacharya was a god brother of Shri Ishvara Puripad. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have very high regards for Advaitacharya, and he used to pay a lot of respects to Advaitacharya. But Advaitacharya in his heart thought, no, this is not the right way. I am just his Bhritya, I am just his servant. How can he regard me as giving me an equal position of a spiritual master? And thinking in this way, he thought, let me do something so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should chastise me. should chastise me and consider me as his servant. So whom you can chastise? Chastisement can be done only from an higher authority. A person who is higher than you can chastise you. So Advaitacharya thought, let me do something where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is forced to chastise me. And in this way, I'll prove to the entire world that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Lord. And I am his simply servant. Though he may give me high regards of being a god brother of his spiritual master, but that's not my actual position. My position is that I'm servant of the Supreme Lord. That's the mood of a devotee. The devotee always thinks that no matter what, but my position as compared to the Supreme Lord is that I am only his servant. Thinking in this way, Advaitacharya made a plan. He thought that that's the only way by which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could chastise me is if I propagate the philosophy of Yoga Vasishtha or Jnana Marg. If I propagate this philosophy, the philosophy of Mayavadis, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he will come to know, he will come and he will chastise me. So that was the plan of Advaitacharya. And as per his plan, the news spread and the news came into the ears of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu took the hand of Nityananda Prabhu and both the brothers, they started going to Shantipur because they want to see what Advaitacharya is preaching. And how can he go against the philosophy of devotional service, of Bhakti Marg, of Bhakti Yoga? Thinking in this way, they both started towards Shantipur. But in between, Vrindavan Das Thakur would have basically taken Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu directly to Shantipur. But in between, he quoted that there was a beautiful incident that happened. And that incident was of Dari Sannyasi. That how that sannyasi invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But then in order to favor Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was offering wine and he was offering the woman to enjoy. And then he gave all kind of karma khanda blessings that Mahaprabhu simply rejected. So now the question comes, why that pastime was needed? There are so many pastimes in day-to-day activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that have not been quoted. And Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur practically has not quoted each and every day incident of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then what was the need? What was the need of quoting this insignificant incident while going for some higher purpose to meet Advaitacharya? The answer himself is given by Vrindavan Das Thakur also, and then of course by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who wrote beautiful purports to these verses. And he said that this pastime was very much needed in order to depict that the Supreme Lord can bear anything. He is Patita Pavan. He can give deliverance even to a sannyasi who is a drunkard sannyasi or who is involved into all kind of illicit activities or all kind of activities that are not basically not that doesn't fit to a sannyasi. But he can give. He honored prasadam at his house. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave all mercy to that sannyasi. So he wants to express that I can basically forgive everyone who is doing all kind of sinful activities, but I cannot forgive one who is propagating wrong philosophy, the philosophy which is not aligned to this devotional service. So that was this major reason where he said that if anyone becomes devoid of devotion, then I will take away all his material opulence and all his enjoyments will be taken away if he is totally devoid of devotion of Lord Vishnu. So that was the case, and Mahaprabhu blessed that sannyasi by staying in his home, by taking prasadam in his home, just to depict that I'm ready to forgive you, even though you may be a pseudo sannyasi, but I'm ready to forgive you and give you all blessings that is needed, but I'm not ready to accept anyone, or I'm not ready to forgive anyone who is propagating the wrong philosophy. And in this way, both the brothers, they left the house of that sannyasi and they moved to Shantipur. So I'll share my verse from here and then we can continue with the next storyline that happened. Okay. So this is Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. So we are supposed to start from verse number 119. Mahaprabhu Vishwambara Karaya Hunkara Mui se Bhale Bara Bara. Vishwambara Mahaprabhu, he roared loudly and explained and repeatedly exclaimed, I am he, because he wants to explain that I am that Supreme Lord. And then, because he came to know, he has yet not reached Shantipur, he has just left the house of that sannyasi. He was not very happy, but he wants to show that I'm ready to give all kind of benedictions to that sannyasi, but I'm not ready to accept anyone who is propagating the wrong philosophy. So then he knew that for what purpose he was going to Shantipur, because the news reached to his ears that Advaitacharya is propagating some jnana marga philosophy. So he's repeatedly exclaiming, and he's talking to Nityananda Prabhu, and he's just saying, it's I am he, I am he, I am that Supreme Lord. He's constantly exclaiming. Mohareya Nila Nada Shayana Bhangiya Ekhane Vakhane Jnana Bhakti Lokaiya. So he's saying, Mora Nila, I was the one who was called upon. I was simply enjoying my yoga nidra. As Bhagavan, I was simply enjoying my yoga nidra. But this nada means is Advaitacharya. So Mahaprabhu always respects him and addresses him as Acharya or as Advaitacharya. But when Mahaprabhu is angry at Advaitacharya, or sometimes when he himself comes into Bhagavan Bhav, like we have seen in that Sat Prahar Leela, that Mahaprakash Leela pastime, the previous chapter that we covered. In that also, when Mahaprabhu was showing his Bhagavan Bhav, he talked to Advaitacharya and he addressed him as Nara. So that now also he is angry, and so he is saying, Nana disturbed my sleep and brought me here. I was simply enjoying my yoga nidra. And now, ekhane vakhane jnana bhakti lokaya. And now after calling me, what he is doing? He is covering. He's covering, lokaya means he's covering the process of devotional service. And what he is vakhane means what he is preaching is jnana marg. He's preaching jnana and he's covering the glories of devotional service. What kind of person he is? Why? What's the need for him to call me if he has to preach this jnana marg only? He could have done on his own. What was the need for him to call me? I was simply sleeping in my yoga nidra. He was the one who disturbed my sleep. तारा षष्ठी करो ना जी देखा परते के माता दुखा आजी ज्ञाना yoga राखे. And now Mahaprabhu is getting super angry and he's saying, see yourself how I punish him today. So he's talking to Nityananda Prabhu. He's saying, see yourself now, I will punish him today. Today we will see how he defends this process of jnana. And today I'm going to test Advaita. तर्जे गर्जे महाप्रभु गंगा श्रोते भाषे मौन है नित्यानंदा मने मने हासे. And this way Mahaprabhu was roaring, tarje garje, he was threatening and he was roaring as he was crossing the currents. He was floating in the currents of Ganga shrote bhashe, because they were crossing Ganga. So from Navadvip they reached to that village of Lalitpur, where they met that sannyasi. But then to go to Shantipur, you have to cross this river Ganga. So they swim across that river Ganga. They were floating in the current of Ganga. And Mahaprabhu was roaring and threatening and saying, today I'm not going to spare Advaitacharya at any cost. And hearing to this, Nityananda Prabhu, Mauna Hai, he was simply silent, and Mane Mane Hase, and he was simply smiling to himself because he knows the agenda of Advaitacharya, and he also knows that how Mahaprabhu, he may show himself that he is as strong as thunderbolt, but he is very hard. He is so soft in his heart, just like lotus. So he was simply smiling to himself. दुई प्रभु भाषी जाया गंगार उपारे अनंत मुकुंद येना शिरोदा sagare. And these two Prabhus were floating in the waves of river Ganga, and it was seeming as if Mukunda and Ananta is Nityananda Prabhu and Mukunda is the Supreme Lord, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was seeming as if they both are floating in the ocean of milk. Shirada Sagare. So Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur writes that the comparison of Shri Gaurasundar with Mukunda and Nityananda with with Ananta, who acts as the bed of Lord Vishnu. Because Anantadev, he acts as a bed of Lord Vishnu and in the ocean of milk. So it's illustrated in this example as Gaur Nityananda Prabhu, Gaur and Nityananda, they both were floating in the waters of river Ganga. Bhakti Yoga Prabhave Advaita Mahabala Bhunjilena Chitte Mura Haiba Kapala. Bhakti Yoga Prabhave. So by the influence of the devotional service, this Advaita Mahabala, this Advaita Prabhu has become the most powerful. He understood that his desire to be punished by the Lord would soon be fulfilled. So this was the reason why Nityananda Prabhu was mourn. He was simply smiling. So he knows the desire of Advaitacharya. He understood his hidden desire that he wants to be chastised by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in order to show the entire world that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord and Advaitacharya is his servant. आशि ठाकुर क्रोधे अद्वैत जानिया ज्ञान योगा वाखाने अधिगमत हैया. Now see the mood of Advaitacharya. As soon as Advaitacharya realized that both of them are coming, that the Supreme Lord is coming, and he is Krodha Avesh, and the Supreme Lord is not coming in a gentle mood. He is coming in a very angry mood. So what he did, Jnana Yoga Vakhane Adhik Matta Hayya. He started explaining Gyan Marg or the philosophy of Gyan Yoga more enthusiastically to the people who were there in that pandal. So Advaitacharya, he organized the entire retreat. We have retreats where we discussed Bhakti Yoga and in the presence of the senior Vaishnavas. So here Advaitacharya took a lead and he made a big pandal, he arranged for the big pandal and he started preaching this Gyan Marg, this philosophy of Jnana Yoga to everyone. And as soon as he heard that, both of them are coming and the Supreme Lord is super angry, he increased his enthusiasm in preaching about this Jnana Marg. चैतन्य भक्तेरा की भुजिता पारा लीला गंगा पथे दुई प्रभु आशिया मिलीला. Who can understand the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya's devotees? Chaitanya Bhaktira ki bhujite paradila. Nobody can go and see the par and apar, the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees. And in this way, the two lords floated down the Ganges to Shantipur, to Advaitacharya's house. So why Vrindavan Das Thakur has mentioned this, that who can understand the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya's devotees? Because it's only Mahaprabhu's devotees who can understand the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Bhaktagana. Because otherwise, if any other person who is not a devotee, and if he hears this pastime, he will think, what kind of devotee is? Just to get mere chastisement and just to prove he can go to that extent that he can basically upset Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu was very upset when he heard this. So who can understand? It's very difficult. It's very difficult to understand. Vaishnava Kriya Mutra Bhujain. It's impossible to understand the activities, the mood of the Vaishnavas, because whatever Vaishnavas do, they do it for the purpose to establish the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. So here also Advaitacharya, yes, he wants to get chastised by the Supreme Lord, but that's what not was his the motive. That may be a secondary thing, but his real motive, his real mood was, I want to establish that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord. क्रोधमुख विश्वंभरा नित्यानंद संगे देखाया अद्वैत डोले ज्ञानानंद रंगे. So Krodamukha Vishwambhara, so Nityananda Sange, along with Nityananda, accompanied by Nityananda, the angry Vishwambhara, Krodamukha, he was super angry. He saw Advaita. He saw Advaitacharya on that big dais and rocking back and forth in the happiness of jnana, because he was preaching Gyan Marg very enthusiastically. Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur writes that Sri Advaita Prabhu desired to achieve abundant mercy in the form of chastisement from Sri Gaura Sundar. So he rocked back and forth out of respect for Mayavad, which is averse to devotional service. Therefore, on arriving there with Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu displayed anger towards those envious of devotional service. Now, yes, Advaitacharya, he desired to achieve that abundant mercy in the form of chastisement from Sri Gaura Sundar. So again, this point is a secondary point, but the primary reason for this entire pastime is to establish that the Supreme Lord is Bhagavan himself. That was the mood of Advaitacharya. And as a byproduct, when Mahaprabhu will come to know that he is preaching Mayavad, naturally Mahaprabhu will chastise him. So that chastisement Advaitacharya wants to receive also in order to establish that I am his servant. I am his servant, I am his Pritya. So that was the mood of Advaita Acharya. And yes, chastisement, when it comes from the spiritual master, it comes with the blessings. So we know that so many pastimes, even in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that whenever a disciple is chastised or cursed, there is a blessing in disguise by the spiritual master. The classic example we see, the Nala Kovera and Manigrava, the two sons of Kovera, when they were cursed by Narad Muni, it was a blessing in disguise. It was a blessing in disguise for both of them, because they both were able to see Krishna. They were able to see the beautiful childhood pastimes of Krishna by getting cursed by Narad Muni and being trees in the courtyard of Nand Maharaj. So who will get this wonderful opportunity? It was them who got this wonderful opportunity because of the curse of Narad Muni. Similarly, we see the example of Indradyumna. Indradyumna Maharaj, he practically renounced all his kingdom and he was simply meditating. But he was not in the process of devotional service. He was also doing some yoga practice by which he wants to excel. And that could take a lot of time. Therefore, when Agastya Muni came and he was cursed to become a dull-headed elephant, that was a blessing in disguise. Because as Gajendra, when he recited those beautiful prayers, Krishna himself came, and in the form of Hari, he came and he gave the highest destination to Gajendra. If he would have continued as Indradyumna, then it would have taken lifetimes for him. But as he was cursed, that curse turned out into a blessing. So chastisement, when comes from the Gurudev, is to correct us. And this is how we devotees also have to learn that whenever we get any chastisement from Srila Gurudev, we should not get averse to them. We should not see any dosh darshan in that. Rather, we should accept it because it is for our betterment. Any chastisement that comes with a blessing. So that was the mood of Advaitacharya, that he want to achieve abundant mercy. See how Saraswati Thakur is writing, to achieve abundant mercy. And that abundant mercy comes in the form of chastisement from spiritual master or from the Supreme Lord. प्रभु देखी हरिदास दंडवत हया अच्युत pranam kare Advaita tanaya. So as soon as they saw Mahaprabhu coming, so Haridas Thakur at that time was staying with Advaitacharya in Shantipur. So when he saw Mahaprabhu, he did Dandavat, he offered his obeisances. And along with Haridas Thakur, who else was there? Achyutananda. He was the son of Advaita Tanaya. He was the son of Advaitacharya. So both Haridas Thakur and Achyutananda or Achyuta, they both offered their obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. अद्वैता गृहिणी मने मने नमस्कारे देखिया प्रभुरा मूर्ति चिंतिता अंतरे. So Advaita Grihini means the wife, but not one, it's been in the plural sense, the wives of Advaita. That shows that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has two wives. So Advaita Grihini, both the wives of Advaitacharya, they offered their obeisances, but not publicly, because that was the custom where the ladies are not supposed to come in limelight, or they are not supposed to come directly face to face because of the etiquettes. And therefore, Mane Mane Namaskar, they've also offered their obeisances, but in their heart, in their mind, to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dekhiya Prabhu Murti Chintita Antare. And they were filled with anxiety. Chintita, they were filled with anxiety by seeing Prabhu, by seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why they were filled with anxiety? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was depicting anger. They were feeling anxiety because they could see that Mahaprabhu is not here in a good mood. So according to the worldly etiquette, the two wives of Advaita did not externally offer obeisances to Mahaprabhu, but yes, in their heart, they internally accepted subordination to him by giving up their false ego. विश्वम्भर तेजयेन कोटि सूर्य माया देखिया साबर चित्ते उपजिला भाया. Vishwambara's body effulgence was like that of millions of suns. Already Mahaprabhu was raised in super angry mood. So everybody became frightened, and he is golden. He is golden in color and complexion, and on top of that, his anger. So his anger is normally a color, red color actually, that is what depicts anger. So red and yellow mix, it was like an orange, as if millions of suns have risen together. That was the effulgence that was coming out from Lord Vishwambara's body. And everyone became frightened. So that was not the pleasing mood, or not the pleasing way to see the Supreme Lord. But everyone became frightened on seeing this, because Mahaprabhu was in super angry mood. And then Mahaprabhu came, and what he did, he said, Krodha mukhe bole Prabhu, are, are, nada bala dekhi jnana, bhakti dui ke baade. So Krodha mukhe, in that angry mood, the Lord said, Oh Nada means, Oh Advaitacharya, you tell me, which is superior, Jnana is superior or Bhakti is superior? So definitely Bhakti is superior. We all know after reading Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. But here the answer of Advaitacharya will be different. Advaita balay sarva khala bada jnana yara nahi jnana tare bhakti ta ki kama. Advaitacharya just said the opposite answer. And he said, "Oh, Prabhu, you want to ask me what is superior among jnana and bhakti? So definitely jnana is superior. Sarva kala bada jnana. Jnana is superior to everything. What is the use? Jara nahi jnana tara katite ka kama. Jahan devotional service, what is the use of devotional service for one who doesn't have jnana? So Advaitacharya said, of course, knowledge is much more better. If we don't have knowledge, then what is the use of bhakti? What is the use of devotional service? So actually, it's jnana which is very much superior. So he said that if somebody has to remain on the path of jnana, then there is no need of devotional service. But if somebody wants to follow the path of devotional service, that knowledge, that jnana is very much needed. So what is this? This is Mayavad philosophy, where they reject this bhakti yoga process, where they think that yes, the Supreme Lord has come, performed his childhood pastimes. There are archa vigrahas in the temple where we serve the Supreme Lord, or at home when we serve the Supreme Lord. That is just a stepping stone in order to achieve something higher. So they take it as a ladder. They don't reject altogether, but they take it as a ladder in order to achieve something which is wide, which is Brahman, which is just the effulgence. So they consider that all these pastimes of the Supreme Lord, all the activities that he did, all the worship we do in the temple, they are just like the ladder where we go and climb and reach to our destination. And after reaching destination, what is the use of the ladder? Just remove it. So that is their philosophy. So he says that if somebody is on the path of devotional service, then definitely he needs jnana. Because without jnana, he cannot come onto the process of devotional service. On the other hand, if somebody has already on the path of jnana, then what is the use of devotional service? They are just mere ladder, and that ladder can be removed once one reached its destination. So this is Mayavad philosophy, typical Mayavad philosophy. Jnana bada advaitara shuniya vachana krodha bhaya pasharila sachiranandana. And on hearing this answer from Advaitacharya, that jnana is superior, this Sachinandana, the son of Mother Sachi, he lost his external consciousness. He said, "What are you preaching, Advaita? This is totally wrong. Pida haite Advaita raradhariya aniyasava haste kaila Prabhu uthane padiya." So he dragged, after hearing the answer of Advaitacharya, Mahaprabhu dragged Advaitacharya, holding on to his hairs, holding on to the so- so- holding on to the hairs of Advaitacharya, he dragged Advaitacharya down from that big dais on which Advaitacharya was preaching this philosophy. And he dragged Advaita from that seat into the courtyard and began beating him profusely with his two hands. So, this was the action of Mahaprabhu. Just see how Mahaprabhu knows the position of Advaitacharya. Mahaprabhu was worshipping Advaitacharya as equal to his spiritual master. And see, when he knows that Advaitacharya, what he is preaching, Mahaprabhu couldn't tolerate. And he dragged him down and he started beating him. On the other hand, that sannyasi, who was a pseudo sannyasi, in the renounced order of life, he was doing all that nonsensical activities. But Mahaprabhu didn't punish him. They didn't say anything to him. Rather stayed in his home, honored prasadam, but still Mahaprabhu didn't say anything. This is what Mahaprabhu wants to show. The very first thing, that when something happens in the life of devotees, then it is actually orchestrated by Krishna himself. See, if externally we see these two pastimes, It was Advaitacharya who suffered a lot because he was being beaten by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. On the other hand, sannyasi was not beaten. That Dadi sannyasi whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met in Lalitpur, he was not beaten up. Rather, there was no reciprocation shown by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Externally, as an outsider, if we see these two pastimes without knowing the position of everybody, then one can see, well, this Mahaprabhu was very compassionate or very silent or very good with that Dadi sannyasi, that pseudo sannyasi, but was very harsh with Advaitacharya. But internally, if one understands the mood, then this is the way the Lord shows one's reciprocation. See, if we see in our own life, we will be angry only on our friends because we have some expectations from our friends. If any stranger or passerby, if he or she says something, we will be least bothered because we don't have that relationship with them. But if our friends or devotees or somebody whom we know, if he or she talks, then we are impacted. That is the mood, same mood that Sri Krishna carries. After all, this mood in us, in we conditioned living entities, is coming from Krishna himself. This is the mood of Krishna because he is very personal, very, very personal, and he wants to reciprocate. So he was least bothered about that sannyasi, whether he ruins his sannyas order of life or whether he progresses. He was least bothered. But for Advaitacharya, he was very compassionate. And therefore, what he did is he showed his anger. And that anger was just an external anger. So he dragged just to show the entire world. That was the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he dragged him into the courtyard and began to profusely beat him in order to teach people, because he wants to give lesson to the general mass of people that actually bhakti is superior and there is nothing superior to bhakti marg. Advaita grinini pati vrata jaganmata sarva tattva janiya o karaya vagrahata. Although they both knew everything, but Advaita's chaste wife and the mother of the entire universe tried to restrain the Lord. She came in between, our Sita Thakurani. She came in between and she said, "Stop, Mahaprabhu, what are you doing?" And then she requested Mahaprabhu, Bhuda Vipra, Rakha Rakha Prana, Kahara Shikshaya Eta Kara Apamana. Oh, this is Budha Vipra. Advaitacharya is an old Brahman. He's a very old Brahman. So please spare his life. Rakha Prakha Prana means spare him, don't beat him. This shows that Mahaprabhu was not simply slapping, but he was beating Advaitacharya very profusely. That even this Mataji, Sita Thakurani, has to come and intervene. Previously, she was just offering his obeisances. Vrindavan Das Thakur said that she didn't even come in front of Mahaprabhu. Just from behind, she saw Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and she offered her obeisances as a matter of etiquette. But now when she saw that her husband has been beaten profusely, she came in between and she requested, please spare his life, spare his life. He is a Buddha Vipra, he is an old Brahman. For whose benefit do you chastise him? Like, Kahara Shikshaya Eta Kara Apaman means whom you want to teach what? That you are simply beating Advaitacharya, because she was confused that what's happening around. Etha buda vamanera ara ke kariba kona kichu haila eda tena pariba. This Brahmana is so old, what more will you do to him? Already is his fag end of his life. He is an old Brahmana, and on top of that you are beating him. Then she says, if something happens to him, if supposedly Advaitacharya leaves his life, then you will be responsible for the consequences. Why Mahaprabhu will be responsible? Because he will get a sin of killing a Brahmana. So the wife of Advaita said that Advaita has become very old, and now the way you are killing him, he will leave his life. He will leave this body. And killing a Brahmana is prohibited in the scriptures. If a Brahmana is killed by excessive beating, then it is impossible for the person responsible to become free from the offense. Brahma Hatya. So you will get a sinful reaction of Brahma Hatya. So she says, just stop, please don't beat him. पतिव्रता वाक्य शुनि नित्यानंद हासे भय कृष्ण शनरय प्रभु हरिदासे. So our Nityananda Prabhu is simply smiling. He knows that nobody is going to leave one's body. Okay. And Mahaprabhu's anger is also an external anger. So on hearing the words of Pativrata, because Sita Thakurani was now as chaste wife, she is protecting her husband. So on hearing the words of chaste wife, the befitting chaste wife, Nityananda Prabhu, he simply smiled. And Haridas Thakur, he remembered Krishna in fear. So Haridas Thakur was remembering Krishna. He was chanting Krishna, Krishna. Whereas Nityananda Prabhu, knowing the whole story, whole pastime, he simply smiled. क्रोधे प्रभु पतिव्रता वाक्य नहीं शूने थर्जे घरजे अद्वैत सदम बवचने. And in Mahaprabhu was so angry that he didn't even pay attention, didn't pay any heed to what the wife of Advaitacharya was saying. He didn't hear the words of Sita Thakurani. Rather, Tarje Garje Advaitara, he threatened and roared on Advaita. Sadamba Vachane. Dambha means proud, pride. And Sadambha means he spoke the words which were full of proud, like full of pride, you can say. But the pride can never come in Krishna? No, because whatever Krishna says is truth. So whenever if we say something which is not true, then it is actually pride. Prabhupada normally gives this example that if you walk in a building and if you want to meet a CEO of that company, and then you go and ask, where is the CEO? I want to meet him. Where is the CEO? And nobody answers. But then the CEO of the company himself comes and says, oh, I don't know for whom you are looking for. Well, I am the CEO of the company. Let me know, how can I help you? So the way the CEO says doesn't show any pride in him, because that's his position. If somebody is telling you his or her own position, it's not pride. But the pride is when we simply brag about our own self. That is pride. So, but here Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that he roared and threatened Advaita with proud words. But actually, these were not the pride of this world. This was the actual truth that Mahaprabhu started saying. Sutiya achilu shira sagar maje are nada nidra bhanga mura tora kaje. And Mahaprabhu roared and said, I was sleeping in the ocean of milk when you, Nada, woke me to fulfill your own mission. So now Mahaprabhu is revealing this fact that you were the one who called me. And now you were the one who actually broke my yoga nidra. And now after calling me, what are you doing? You are simply propagating the philosophy of Jnana Marg. Bhakti prakashila tui amar aniya eva vakhani se jnana bhakti lokaya. You brought me for the purpose. And what was the purpose? What was your mission? Your mission was that I should reveal the science of devotional service. Because all the Navadvipavasis at that time, they were not following this process of bhakti yoga. So you brought me here. You rode on the banks of river Ganga, and you rode and you called me. You disturbed me while I was sleeping just to reveal the science of devotional service. And now you yourself is covering this science of devotional service by explaining the process of Jnana Yoga. So what is the use? You are covering this process. So he became very frustrated. And then he said, Yadi lukai ba bhakti tora chitte aache, tabe mora prakasha karila kona kaje. Then he said, if your intention was to cover this devotional service, then why did you have me to incarnate in this life, in this material world? I was happy there. I had no business to come, but I came on your call just to propagate this philosophy of Bhakti Yoga. Mahaprabhu came to give this Nija Bhakti Yoga and, of course, the Vairagya. But he said, now you yourself is covering the science of devotional service. Then why did you have me incarnate? What was my purpose to come? Why did you call me? Tomara sankalpa mui na kari anyatha, tumi mora vidambana kara saravata. I never frustrate your resolve, but you always deceive me. So this is how Mahaprabhu was addressing to Advaitacharya. Advaita idiya Prabhu vasila duare, prakashe apana tatva kharila hunkare. And after releasing Advaita, because Mahaprabhu was sick of beating Advaitacharya, the Lord simply sat down at the doorway and he began to loudly reveal his own glories. So Mahaprabhu, he stopped beating Advaitacharya and then he revealed his own wonderful pastimes. So this was the real motive of Advaitacharya behind this pastime, because he wanted that the Lord himself should propagate that I am the Supreme Lord, that Advaita is my servant, and I am the Lord of all lords. I am that Rajendra Nandan Krishna who came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it was the mood of Advaitacharya only. It was his desire that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should himself proclaim that he is none other than the Supreme Lord. Though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as Channavatar, as an hidden incarnation, but Mahaprabhu cannot, because the Supreme Lord cannot hide from his devotees. And his devotees, like Advaitacharya, made all these arrangements so that Lord himself can proclaim that I am the Supreme Lord. Because the same Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when somebody addresses him as Vishnu, he would close his ears and he'll say, no, 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 what are you saying? I'm just Vishnu Das. I'm just Krishna Das. I'm not Krishna. But Advaitacharya says, well, that's not going to work. So I somehow have to arrange all these things so that Lord himself can proclaim that he is that Supreme Lord. He is the same Rajendra Nandan Krishna who came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, understanding the mood, now Mahaprabhu is roaring loudly and he's saying, Are, are, kamsa ye marila se muni, are nada sakala janinas dekhadui. Oh Nada, oh Advaita, it was I who killed Kamsa. You know everything, don't you? Don't you know that it was I who killed Kamsa as Krishna? आजा भावे शेषा रामा करे मोरा सेवा मोरा चक्रे मारीला श्री गाला वासुदेवा ब्रह्म aja means Brahma, Bhava yani Shiva, Shesha Sheshana Ananta Shesh, Rama Lakshmi Devi, Kare Mora Seva, they all engage in my service. Mora Chakra Marila Sagrila Vasudeva. And that cunning impostor Vasudev, that Poundrik Vasudev, he was killed by my chakra because he imitated me. So we will not discuss this pastime because we have discussed so many times. And I hope everybody knows this pastime of Poundrika Vasudev, where he imitated and he challenged Krishna that this chakra that you are holding actually belongs to me. And Krishna said, okay, if you want my chakra, here is it, hold it. And then he threw, and finally Poundrik Vasudev was killed. So Mahaprabhu is saying, it was I who killed that impostor Vasudev, and I was the one who killed him by my chakra. Mora chakra varanasi dahila sakala Mora bane marila mravana mahabala. Then he says Varanasi was actually completely burned by my chakra, because that Poundrik Vasudev, he was in Varanasi at that time. So he said that the complete Varanasi was burned by my chakra. And Morabane, and that mighty Ravana, was also killed by my ban, by my arrow. Means I am that Krishna who killed Kamsa. I am that Krishna who killed Poundrik Vasudev, that impostor Vasudev. And I am the same Lord Ramachandra who killed Ravana. मोरा चक्रे काटिला बणेरा बहुगाणा मोरा चक्रे नरकेरा हैला marana. So now he's saying, as Krishna, it's me who cut off the arms of all the arms of Banasura. Mora chakra katila banera bahugana, because this Banasur has thousands of arms. So all his arms were cut off because of my chakra. And Mora Chakra Narakera, that Narakasur was also destroyed by my chakra. The same Narakasura who was my son, because this Narakasura, he was the son of Krishna and Bhumi, at Varadev and Bhumi Devi. And Krishna himself killed this Narakasura, because this Narakasura, though he was the son of Krishna, but he got into bad association. He got this association of Banasura, because of which this Bhauma, he became a Sura, and he is known as Bhaumasura, also known as Narakasura. So he is the one who got the association of Banasur, because of which I didn't even spare his life also. So I killed him. मुई से धारी लो गिरी दिया व महाता मुई से आनी लो स्वर्गा हाथे पारी जाता. It was I who held up that Govardhan hill on my little pinky in my left hand. मुई से धारी लो गिया दिया व महाता. I was the one who held up that Govardhan hill. I am the one who is known as Govardhan Dhari. And I was the one who brought Parijata from Swarga on the request of Satyabhama. मुई से चलीलो बलि करिलो प्रसादा मुई से हिरण्या मारी राखिलो प्रहलादा. I am the one who deceived Bali Maharaj and bestowed mercy on him as Vamanadev. And it was I who killed Hiranyakashipu to save Prahlad as Narsinghadev. So just see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, I am that Lord Ramachandra, I am that Krishna, I am the one who killed Banasura, I am the one who brought Parijata tree from Swargaloka, and I am the one who killed Hiranyakashipu, means I am Narsinghadev, I am that Vamana. So he's exclaiming loudly, roaring, and saying his own glories, and that's what Advaitacharya wanted. Ei Mata Prabhu Nija Aishwarya Prakasha. This way, Mahaprabhu himself is revealing his opulences. Shuniya Advaita Prema Sindhu Maje Bhase. And hearing all these glories directly from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaitacharya was floating in the ocean of ecstasy, because this is what he wanted. Shashtipai Advaita Paramananda Maya Hate Tali Diya Nache Kariya Vinaya. Advaitacharya was filled with ecstasy after receiving his punishment, because his punishment was a blessing. He clapped his hand, Hate Tali Diya, he clapped his hand, and Nache Kariya Vinaya, and in great humility he started dancing, because now his glory of being a Bhritya, of being a servant to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was revealed, and Mahaprabhu himself from his own lotus mouth is revealing his opulences, his greatness. Yena aparadha kailu, tena shashti pailu, bhala ekarila Prabhu, alpe edailu. I have received proper punishment for my offense. And what was his offense? That he was hiding the glories of devotional service. O Lord, you are very kind and you have actually given me only a token punishment. I was supposed to receive much higher. By beating me, you have given me just a token of punishment. That's the mood, that's the humble mood that Advaitacharya was carrying. 2 more verses and then we'll stop. এখানা সে ঠাকুরুলা ভুজিলু তোমারা দোষা অনুরূপা ষষ্ঠী কারিলা amara. And now I have realized your supremacy and you are suitably punished me for my fault. इहाते से प्रभु भृत्या चित्ते बला पाया बलिया आनंदे नाचे शांतिपुर राया. And he said, Advaitacharya, he said something very beautiful. He said, now the relationship between the Lord and his servant has been strengthened. Because till now, O Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you were regarding me as a spiritual master. You were offering me all respects as a spiritual master, as a god brother of your spiritual master. So you were also regarding me as the spiritual master. But that's not my real sambandha with you. My real sambandha is that you are the master and I am a servant. And now by beating me and revealing your own glory, you have strengthened that relationship. That relationship that I am your servant and you are my master. You are my Lord. And after speaking in this way, the Lord of Shantipur, the Advaitacharya, he danced in ecstasy. Last verse for today. Ananda Advaita nache sakala angane bhrukuti karila pale prabhura charane. Advaitacharya, in an humble mood, he was accepting and all the chastisement, all the beatings. And he said, now the relationship has really strengthened. And he danced in ecstasy throughout the courtyard. But then he frowned. Bhrukuti Kariya, he was very frowned. And then he started speaking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, why he became frowned? Because till now he was showing his utmost humility and he was very happy after being chastised by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that was his agenda behind this entire pastime. Then what made Advaitacharya frown and speaking to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this way? That we will see tomorrow. So stay tuned. Tomorrow's class is going to be an excellent session because that's going to reveal further pastimes, further confidential pastimes of this entire thing, entire pastime. Some confidential realities will be explained. So that we will see tomorrow. So thank you all so much. Today was just a storyline as Vrindavan Das Thakur was explaining. And so we did, and we just did studying the verses as per the purports of Shri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So we'll stop here. Thank you all so much for your wonderful association. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Advaitacharya ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. All the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for the wonderful, wonderful class and for all the pastimes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Very, very grateful to you for sharing all the pastimes, how Advaitacharya wants the Lord himself to reveal his own glories, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he revealed his own glories by explaining how Lord Brahma, Shiva, Sesa, and Lakshmi all are engaged in his service, and he said all his own pastimes and how he killed Paundrika and Kamsa, Ravana as Lord Krishna, because he is none other than Rajendra Nandana Krishna himself, and how he called Vanasura and Narakasura, and how he himself is holding the Govardhana heel, and how he brings the Parijata flowers for Satyavama, and how name is Nashrimadev, which is Prahlad Maharaj, and all are the you say it everything was whatever Advaita Acharya got. Those punishments were the blessings in disguise, right, Mataji? Sorry if I am not
No, you are right.
conclusive.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for sharing all the pastimes. I can, Mataji, do you have some time? Parima Mataji has a hand raised, Mataji.
Yes, Parima Mataji, please go ahead.
Please
Hare
go ahead,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji, thank you so much for this very wonderful nectarian class. Mataji, I still have this kind of a doubt that it's like the ultimate spiritual achievement to have Gaurang Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu to accept your hospitality. It's like you cannot even aspire for anything more that you get a chance to serve them. Then why is it that the heart of that Dhari sannyasi was not transformed? Because Mahaprabhu could transform hearts, like he transformed the hearts of Amogh, who was Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya's son-in-law. Then he transformed the hearts of Jagai and Madhai. They got transformed. They were like the ultimate sinners.
Mm.
So it's kind of very intriguing that his heart did not get transformed upon seeing the Lord, or
Mm.
he did not get any inclination of surrendering to the Lord. So that's kind of very surprising. So what can you say about that?
Nothing is surprising, Parima Mataji. You yourself will answer your question. Why Amogha was transformed? What was the reason behind?
Because I think Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya's
He was serving a devotee. Why Jagai and Madhai were transformed? Because of Nityananda. So there is some devotee behind. Why Nalakovera and Manigreva were delivered? Does Krishna has to do anything with them?
No.
No. Krishna said, I have nothing to do with Manigreva and Nalakovera, but I am liberating you. And I am giving you the highest devotional service because of Narad Muni.
Okay.
So this Dari Sannyasi, Mahaprabhu just went and accepted his hospitality just to show that I am still okay taking the hospitality of such a person who is not following his ashram properly, but I am not ready to accept anyone who is going against devotional service. But I don't have to do anything with this sannyasi, so there is no point of
But
changing.
Mataji, had he surrendered, you think he would have got the mercy?
I have no idea.
No, I mean, it's just a thought.
I don't want to
understand.
speculate
Yes.
what happened to him, but the
Okay.
point is that why his heart didn't get transformed, or why Vrindavan Das Thakur didn't mention about his heart getting transformed, because he had no backup of a devotee.
Okay. All right. I understand then. Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Danvat pranams.
Thank you, Mataji. And in the chat also, Sukasagri Mataji is thanking you for the wonderful class. And she's writing, it is a wonderful start to New Year. Thank you, Mataji. And Sita Mataji also writing, thank you for the beautiful class, Mataji. Thank you.
What beautiful class. I was simply reading from Srila Prabhupada's book, and this
It was such a sweet pastime, Mataji.
class was itself is so beautiful. Yes. Okay, so we'll take, yes, Indulekha Karuna Mataji. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for this wonderful start, Mataji. And again, I thought only Preeti Mataji does this, but you have put us at a cliffhanger now. So we have to attend tomorrow's session to find out.
Yes, you have to be really attentive tomorrow.
Yes, and tomorrow's class will be by Her Grace Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. So yes, exciting and waiting for that. But very, very beautiful pastime, and very interesting how each devotee of the Lord tries to receive the mercy of the Lord. Advaita Prabhu is not happy with just being seen as equivalent to his spiritual master, to Mahaprabhu's spiritual master. So yeah. Thank you, Mataji. No questions, just very grateful for this wonderful start. Haribol.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for a beautiful class. It's a very nice way to start New Year. You put us all in that mood. I just had a thought. I don't know if it is the right thing, and that's why I wanted to clarify, Mataji.
what was the bhav or the rasa in which Advaitacharya was with? Is it Vatsalya ras by any chance?
It's not mentioned anywhere. It was pure dasya.
Dasya, okay. Because when you were, illustrating this pastime, when he kind of told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about, Gnana Marg and everything, and he got beaten up by, and then when he started glorifying and, he started telling who he was, it was almost like a child. Sometimes we tell the children something incorrect and we want to listen to them say the right thing. If you ask them directly, they will never tell you, right? Then you say, no, no, the lion went there, or something incorrectly, if you say, they will actually illustrate. So I felt so close to that moment where, when you're directly asking a child, it never reveals. But when you say incorrectly, they are always waiting to correct you. So I felt, and a child beating you is, especially the mother, right? I mean, she takes it so well. She doesn't feel anything. She feels that, okay, it's okay, So I felt both those instances felt like as if, that love for the Lord was almost like Vatsalya ras. He wants to, be in that rasa. That's why I was trying to ask, is there any evidence to show that?
It's nowhere mentioned that Advaitacharya ever had that Vatsalya bhav towards Lord Chaitanya. Because when we were reading this Adi Leela pastime, this Adi Khanda in Chaitanya Bhagavat,
Mhm,
and it has been mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like a small little boy, Nimai. He used to
mhm,
walk.
mhm,
And he used to walk to Advaitacharya's home to call Vishwarup, his elder brother, because
mhm,
Sachitata would send and go and call Vishwarup. He's sitting with Advaita and discussing Srimad Bhagavatam.
mhm,
That time also when Mahaprabhu used to walk, means as our little small Nimai used to walk in,
mhm,
everybody will have him as a very beautiful child, but at
mhm.
the same time will have an awe and reverence towards that.
I see. I
They
see.
don't have that, oh, it's small little child has come, so let me hug him and make him.
Okay.
At
Okay.
that time also they will think that he is some extraordinary child.
Mhm. That reverence is always there, even to get into that
Reverence.
punishment and,
We're actually seeing at that time, Vrindavan Das Thakur mentions in Adi Khanda that seeing the beauty of Nimai, Advaitacharya felt that his Supreme Lord has come.
Okay. That makes sense, Mataji. I think in the previous few weeks also we discussed where he is so much in reverence to the Lord that, he couldn't have those, and that's why he wanted to get punished also at some point, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. And a very, very beautiful class. Thank you for making this year so good for us with the start itself with such glorious pastimes, and coming from you, it was very, very relishable. Thank you, Mataji.
Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for the wonderful, wonderful class, Mataji. Very grateful to you. I liked all the pastimes that you were sharing, especially when you were talking how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was crossing the Ganges and running towards Advaitacharya's house, Nityananda. And so like we could see the pastime in front of our eyes, how they were crossing and how Nityananda was laughing, Haridas was praying to Lord, what's going to happen, everything, we could just feel how Sita Thakurani was coming and, telling, please don't do this, don't do this. It's all in front of our eyes, Mataji. Thank you so much. That's such a beautiful. And I really like the most point here is for today how we get angry on our friends only, not on anybody else. That was like a takeaway point. Of course, there are many things, but then this is a new year. You leave your angers onto your friends or anybody and just make everybody happy, take away all those things. So for this, I was thinking best for me, I am just taking like that, Mataji. This like, you get angry or you may fight with someone. It's just, because you love them. That's why you're fighting with them.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's really very nice, Mataji. That's why he was not angry about that sannyasi, whom he don't care about, but he was angry on Advaita because he likes Advaita Acharya. That's what very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you so much. Very grateful to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vinita Mataji. Thank you so much. And looking forward for tomorrow's session.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And in chat also, so many devotees are thanking you for the wonderful, wonderful class, Mataji.
Thank you. Yeah, Yashomati
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji. Such a wonderful class and such a wonderful, beautiful pastime of our Lord. And today we are so happy, fortunate that in the starting of New Year, we are hearing the pastime by His own lotus mouth, the Lord's lotus mouth. And then I hope whole year will go by hearing Lord's pastime.
Jai Ho.
I'm so happy.
That is what is needed every day. We should.
Thank you, Mataji. So grateful to you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Always, as usual, so sweet.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, go ahead.
हरे हरे कृष्णा जी कीर्तिदा सुंदरी माता जी कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम शिल प्रभुपाद शिल गुरुदेव की जय गोपीनाथ की जय माता जी वी stay more than 17 years in Radha Gopinath but somehow माता जी now the mood is not coming because we not get the strong association and हम family matter में ही that is our responsibility माता जी I understand but somehow जपा अच्छी तरह से हो रहा था जी किशोरी ने श्री राम प्रभु के साथ
That's the potency of Dham.
Pray for me, Mataji. I miss Bhakti Sanga morning and afternoon class. क्योंकि जब संग नहीं होता है ना directly effect to my japa Mataji. That I learn in 1 month. Whether I am in Sri Ram Vrindavan Dham or Sisi Balsana Dham. पर जब प्रभुपाद के पास बैठ के DOT के साथ जपा होता है वो अकेले में नहीं होता है माताजी प्रे फॉर मी मैं जहाँ हूँ मुझे ऐसा था कि मुझे भक्ति राधा गोपीनाथ से महाराज ने और शिल प्रभुपाद ने निकाल के यहाँ पर माताजी जहाँ है वहाँ श्री राम वृंदावन धाम है और सही जगह पे शिल प्रभुपाद ने रखा है कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम टू ऑल भक्ति संघ टीचर कोटि कोटि दंडवत
आपको
प्रणाम
यहाँ पे इसलिए रखा है क्या कि आप प्रीचिंग करिए ठीक है ना इसलिए नहीं रखा कि अब आप हमेशा राधा गोपीनाथ के पास वहां जाके स्पून फीडिंग करती रहें आपको यहाँ पे प्रभुपाद ने यूएस में इसलिए रखा है ताकि आप फर्दर प्रीचिंग करें और बहुत भक्तों को भक्त बनाएं और लोगों को भी भक्त बनाएं अपनी एसोसिएशन दें right that's the real mood of your Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada and that's why you are here
कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम टू ऑल भक्ति संघ वैष्णव टीचर्स कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम टू यू माताजी हरि हरि गौरंगा
Gauranga Gauranga okay on that note can we end
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Mataji, did you read, Mataji? Did you get a chance to read Suksagri?
Yeah, Suksagri Mataji has mentioned, so I'll read it out for everybody. I think so. She's quoting what Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, where he says that Advaitacharya was almost equal in age to Lord Chaitanya's grandfather, that is Nilambar Chakravarti. And Advaitacharya was Mahavishnu himself and was also the godbrother of Ishwarapuri, the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya always treated him like his grandfather. But Advaitacharya did not like this and was thinking how he could get chastised by the Lord. So he started preaching this Mayavadi philosophy. Lord Nityananda heard this and was shocked. So thank you, Suksagri Mataji. Thank you for posting that.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for the wonderful class, and we will look forward for your recitation again in the future, Mataji. Dear devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Mataji and all the assembled devotees. Vancha kalpa
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
कोटि वैष्णव की
वृंद की
जय, श्रील
जय।
प्रभुपाद की जय,
जय।
भागवत की जय,
जय।
Mataji ki jai.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
Mataji.
Mataji, for
हरे
the
कृष्ण
wonderful class.
हरे कृष्ण